Welcome back to Real Christianity with Rev Kev, as they say in a jungle village, yaki yaki. I want to talk a little bit about a sticky topic that comes up a lot is God's anger. They talk about it a lot. Why is God so angry in the Old Testament and then he's all sweet and full of grace in the New Testament? Well, I think that's overstated quite a bit. We can see God's anger and his grace and love in the Old Testament all throughout. And we can see that in the New Testament. And I think people say, well, where's God's anger in the New Testament? He talks about judgment. He talks about an eternal separation from him when we die if we don't recognize who Jesus Christ is and give our lives to him. That is anger. That is punishment. So it is there. And people talk about, well, what? Just give me Jesus because he's full of love. Well, Jesus is full of love, but he also turned the tables at the temple. He got angry at what they were doing, how they're misusing this religion that was supposed to point people to God, and then they were doing this other thing, making money, misusing it. There is a place for anger. We should be angry at murderers and pedophiles and those people who do atrocious things. There is a place for that. And the Old Testament and the New Testament demonstrate God's anger, but also his grace. And though most of us have done things that would make God angry, once we give our lives to Jesus, there is a forgiveness once we repent, turn back from what we're doing, turn from our wicked ways, our selfish ways, and live our lives for Jesus, point our lives in the right direction. Repent means turning around and looking at something different, a different direction. God does have these emotions. There's a fancy word, anthropomorphism, trying to put human emotions on God, but that's what's written about in the Old Testament and New Testament. That's what we understand, that God has these emotions. He uses them right and well and good in every circumstance. I think I always wrestle with when is the right time to be angry and how do I share that anger. Difficult stuff. But if somebody says, why is the God of the Old Testament so angry and the God of the New Testament so nice? Now, I don't think that separation is as clear as we want to make it. God is wonderful and loving and perfect. And yes, there is judgment. This has been Real Christianity with Rev Kev. Yaki yaki.